My thought today, beware of the voices of conscience that pave the path with shards of glass. The path we'll walk on will be more difficult if we listen to the voices that appear to be the voices of conscience, that are not actually providing us, even with good intention. I'm working today and I'm thinking as a follow-up, I'm on a mission, what's yours? And I think it's connected to this idea of heeding the voices of conscience, the people that make impressions on us, that appear to have depth and insight even, not just blustering, not just going on. And I think this is part of it, that you create an aura around your voice, your message. Well, we all like to be paid attention to, and there are different techniques, I guess, of people having figured out how to actually create an aura around their message, and the aura becomes everything. The message, there may be some truth, there may be something that applies, but here is where things break down. And I like to reflect and critically think about myself and how I orient myself, what I'm willing to give up. And there is a level of acquiescence too. It's not always dominating, my way or the highway. There is a kind of merging. There is a feeling that my own understanding, my own vision, the extent that I've developed it, and it's a mystery, people, it's a mystery. Making a painting is a mysterious event because I really have no idea how it will turn out, what will come up. I really don't know. And I think this, as I'm working today, I'm thinking about the fact that how could we have let things deteriorate to this extent? And this is not, oh, doom and gloom. Well, I think we have to look at this realistically. I think the doom and gloom scenario is approaching faster with Fukushima, 3 melted reactors. They don't know where the cores are. They're eating their way into the center of the earth. This is what's going on. It feeds on itself. Nuclear fission, we are in the age of fission, an invention that has created a monster that can't be stopped. And it's now feeding on the planet. It is eating into the core of the earth. No one knows where these cores are. But how could we have let this get so far? And I think we can take the information, even to some extent the knowledge and wisdom of people, but to identify the wisdom of the people, to identify the people that have meaning to me. And we get sidetracked. It's difficult when we have our own center, our own core, what I call as well a mission, something that I want to accomplish. And I'm on that path. I want to accomplish what it is that I feel is within me, and I need to realize that irregardless of my circumstances, whatever it takes. If I don't have paint, I may have pastels. If I don't have pastels, I have pencils. If I don't have pencils, I'll construct something. What the point is that we need to adjust to the circumstances and keep our core. And this is what I was thinking. Why have I allowed this to get this far in terms of my own awareness, consciousness? Now, I have been on this in terms of making my work and attempting to share or put this out into the larger community, among my brothers and sisters. This is the feeling that I have, and we attach money to it because, well, we have to live. I have to make a living. I supplement my art income. I used to supplement my art income by being a house painter. And I think we adjust to circumstances. But I want to make this point. Why has it gone this far? Why have we gone as far as we have down this road? And we listen to people that apparently give us valuable information. You can attach anyone to that, what I'm saying now. And we need to question each individual personally on this. And what I mean to say is that my own evolution as a human, as a conscious human, as a being of conscience. This is what I hammer. I'm going to hammer away at this. I don't care if people are getting tired of it. This is such a benign hammering, actually. It is so important that it should not irritate anyone for me to say the idea and the practice of caring is at the root of everything. And what I have said before, the reason it has gone amok for us is because we were treated as children without the respect and the regard. That doesn't mean my parents were not loving. My parents were very loving. But they fit into this amorphous group, something that has been cultivated in our culture of death, which goes back as far as conventional history says 6,000 years with the divine right of kings and Akhenaten and the holier than thou rulers that have instilled in us, which is probably almost genetic now, where there are some more equal than others, George Orwell. And the reason it has gone this far is because I have personally abdicated my responsibility to this fundamental principle of conscience and caring. And it's not up for debate. It's not an argument. We all know when we're doing the wrong thing, unless we're sociopaths and psychopaths. And to put this onto an elite, this elite that is now running amok, this elite that has completely taken over the China shop, and they're not going to leave any of the vessels intact. They will all be broken. The people that are running the show, that are now in this China shop we call existence on this planet, Earth, none of these vessels will be left intact. And it's up to us to protect this fragile reality that we're now in. And the reason we can never, I'm listening to alternates, and I'm not going to name names. I'm hearing people, and they're going off. They're going off in obscenities and vulgarities against these elites. Yes, of course, the usual suspects. It's what I've said, the usual suspects. And this strategy is irrelevant, except, okay, I'll give it a little bit. If it generates the passion, the anger towards a change. But this has to end. The anger needs to end and be translated into this level of conscience, whatever that means for each one of us. That's what I believe. That's what I understand. That's what I know. I know. This is the grassroots, if you want to call it. Not to accept what anybody has to say, but follow their actions. What do they do? If they're going to be an example to me, I want to see their actions. And if they devolve into the vulgarities, the degeneracy of that which we are trying to rid ourselves of. We need to rid ourselves of this culture, this culture of death. It's the right name for it. And whatever it's built on, this supposed civilization, that where science comes and says, we are your new religion, the priesthood. The new priesthood are the scientists that have brought us nuclear fission. This is such a 101. The 101 of our existence is that we always believe in the people that destroy. We need to believe in ourselves. We all have a calling. And I feel this through my own work. I understand this through making paintings, that I have something to offer. And we all have this ability, this gift, which is actually based in conscience. I could paint weird devils with tails and horns and provide to this decrepit oligarchy, to this decrepit bunch, the leadership that we have, who indulge this fantasy of ruling everything in a sort of debauchery. I mean, where did that ever come from? The abuse of one other being for pleasuring yourself. It's insane. It's not how the universe works. The universe works on giving, not on taking. So you're either a giver or a taker. That's how it works. And the reason, my point was, the reason we've let Fukushima happen and all the other nuclear plants is because we have not taken the responsibility of our individual calling and not following through on that impulse, that primordial impulse of giving, which is actually related to the idea of conscience. And children are lost. There are millions of children lost every year. Nobody knows where they go. Oh, geez, where did they go? And it's rooted in the fact that people, and this is difficult for parents to hear, this is hard, that we do not love our children. In fact, we endorse or we are complicit with the hating of children in our society, in this culture of death. It's a difficult pill to swallow, and we all have our responsibilities in regard to protecting the vulnerable, because this is the universe. This existence is an evolving state, and the most precious part of this evolution within ourselves is the most vulnerable part. So if we abuse the most vulnerable part within inside of us, we will extend this into our externals. Like the Shiva story, now I am become death, destroyer of worlds. It is a battle that is fought daily on an inner level. It's an internal battle that we're losing. We're not losing the fight against Fukushima. We're losing the internal battle to do the right thing. And we can still recover. I am hopeful we can recover from this, but unless we fight that internal battle, and we need to transition. We don't. I endorse the anger around our circumstance, my circumstance. I endorse. I feel angry. I am angry about how far this has gone. What am I going to do about it? And every single day is a closer step towards a resolution if I can resolve this within myself and act accordingly. In my case, I do my actions, I do my paintings. I need to pursue getting these paintings and finding a voice in the public for what it is that I'm convinced is necessary. We all need to do this on some level. So that was my thought today as I'm working on some, as you can see, I'm working on some playing cards. That's a whole other story. I'm not going to go into it because I'm reviving work from 2003 when I started these paintings. And with a little luck, there will be a story behind this. I'm hoping it'll work out. But anyway, my point is that I listen to people in the alternative media. Well, the mainstream media it's pablum. It's pablum. They're neither passionate or dispassionate. They just feed stuff to a very gullible audience, which has not yet decided that this inner battle needs to be fought, and that's how we'll succeed. That inner battle, not the external, not the blame, not the oligarchs, not the 1%, not all that stuff that's fodder. That's fodder for the destruction. The vessels are being broken every time we unleash this rage against it. It's not an external thing. Yes, it is. We need to act externally, but it has to come out of this sense of conscience and doing the right thing. I'm going to keep hammering this. It makes a lot of sense, don't you think? Makes a lot of sense. It feels great when it works too. Especially, I can see it in the paintings when it works in the paintings.